GM crypto news analysis here. It is March 24th. And before I get into this video, please restrict below on the take of the show and the tokens. So let's look at the price action and Bitcoin here. It is up on the day. Pretty interesting to see. We've had 10 green candles in a row, or is that 10? Around 10 roughly. And I was saying that the path earlier would follow something like this, but it looks like I'm wrong, and it actually went a little bit higher than expected instead of going lower. So now 85K, which was previously resistance, seems to now be flipped as a support based off how high it went. So now we have two price actions where it could go, where Bitcoin either it does its push up to the medium term resistance, which is 91K, and then it's going to retest the 85K support once again before it goes higher again. Or we could just see it go down from here and completely give back the whole pump and go down to 85 before it goes higher. But in any case, now the market in the price action actually flipped a lot more bullish instead of it previously being a bit more bearish back here. And now it's actually setting up for what could be a compressive squeeze to some higher highs. And that would be pretty interesting to see. And in that case, 110K would be the latest resistance. But for now, things are looking a lot more bullish than usual. And altcoin wise, well, some of them are performing pretty nicely. Ethereum is starting to do something as well. Solana is also going a little bit higher. But in any case, it looks like we will see some alt setup rallies in the next few weeks, especially if the price action and comparison stocks as well are going a little bit higher. So this is going to be pretty cool. But the thing is that midterm, the distribution is still in some sort of a danger zone, especially with stocks. But we'll have to see what happens. And for now, we could enjoy some green price action in the next few weeks. And liquidation heat map wise, it supports more of a thesis of it actually going lower to 83K. And we'll see what's going to happen if it actually goes that low and tests that level. For now, it seems pretty unlikely, but it could be a very quick whip down there like this before it goes higher again, something like that. But if that would be the case and actually plays out quarter liquidation heat map and it follows a red line, then I think it would follow something like that. But altcoin wise, well, the strongest bouncers are Solana AI and base AI. Some of them are pretty strong, like Ray, extremely strong from the bottom, and a lot of tokens just pretty decent. There are some base meme coins that are bouncing a bit, and then a little bit Solana meme coins. There's some that are bouncing a little bit like FWOG, but there's not really that many things else to say except that there's a lot of bounces, and so far the strongest is Solana AI. I mean, ARK is finally starting to form a bottom and seems like it wants to push higher, and it seems that could do 2x assuming that Bitcoin goes to 90K or so. But that would be pretty interesting to see, and we are seeing some nice price action, especially with Fartcoin as well. Fartcoin is absolutely going insane style here. So yeah, let's look at tweets here. Justin, Michael Saylor strategy buys another 6911 Bitcoin worth 584 million. Yeah, Michael Saylor, he has 2% of the Bitcoin price or the supply, 2.4%. And yeah, this, I think one of these pumps was definitely contributed by him DCAing more money into it. Justin, 1.35 trillion out to the US stock market today. So crypto moves in correlation to the stock market. And now that the stock market is up a lot, especially like Tesla, for example, because Tesla's getting so much FUD earlier with all of the car key scratching and the Nazi propaganda, but now it's actually bouncing quite nicely from the bottom here, and a lot of stocks for them being up is definitely helping crypto as well due to correlation. So this is awesome. Oh, Justin, Trump media signs agreement to partner with crypto.com and launch ETFs. Yeah, of course, this is just bullish news because more ETFs means more adoption from retail, and they can especially use crypto.com, which is a pretty popular retail onboarder. So just in, President Trump says he may give a lot of countries breaks on tariffs. Yes, a lot of the bearish price action on Bitcoin, especially like back here when it absolutely nuked from mid-90s to 70s, was attributed by the tariff news because tariff seems to be a bit bearish toward risk on markets. And as a result of that, people, they don't really like the tariffs. And when we see this news where Donald Trump, he's going back on it and saying that, okay, we're going to stop giving these tariffs to all these people like Canada, Mexico, China, and we're just going to chill on it. The market is definitely reacted quite positively from that news, especially on the daily where we're seeing a bit more green. But we'll have to see what happens and if this is actually a sustained rally. And in any case, this is just good news in the short term. But he could easily just go back and say, okay, fuck tariffs again, and we're going to go back on them, and it just dips again, because we know Donald Trump has his history of going back and forth on his policy short term, but long term, he's most likely going to enact them anyways. So yeah, the market is still acting in this way, even though Donald Trump, we should be pricing in this characteristic of him, but it hasn't been somehow yet. But yeah, some quicks today on the market bounce. So this one's a little bit long, but I'm just going to talk about it because it's a bit good of a summary. But he's saying that crypto AI still gets the biggest altcoin build, leading teams across subsectors up 45% average. DeFi AI seems to lead charge. So the tokens that allow you to do DeFi better with AI assistance. So for example, the Hey Anon token, which is around here, it seems to be bouncing a little bit from the bottom. But on the other hand, things like ARK here seems to be bouncing decently from the bottom after it's super dumping. But this is a super bullish price action, by the way. But this is just interesting, where if we also look at the other ones where there seems to be a market shift back to the upside, I'm more interested in the DeFi plays, and as Billy Bet's up 100% after term of success, and some other things here where ARK is pretty strong. Virtuals is developing Elisa on dropping their platform, ARK.fun on Rhizome. Yeah, so when the AI agent narrative, the infrastructure tokens are most likely going to catch most of the bids at first. And as you can see from here, Virtuals, ARK, and AI16Z seems to be those ones. And AI16Z is not really bouncing the best. Virtuals is bouncing decently, I guess, but it's still in this Christmas tree sort of deal here. So we'll have to see if this actually can make it go back to all-time highs again, although the price action is not just super bullish just yet. But also a lot of other things where ARK is actually decently strong, most likely because it's been sold so much. But we'll have to see if this is a continued rally. I still think that the technology behind these tokens are very worth some sort of evaluation, but most likely it's a good narrative for what's going to come. And it just that the price action of things like ARK here and finally bouncing a bit from the bottom is usually a good sign for what is to come once risk on sentiment returns and Bitcoin finally grinds higher and stops being fucked. So yeah, AI agents, the narrative seems to be supported by some of the price action, and seems that ARK is probably one of the strongest one of them, but we'll have to see if they keep pushing or not. Depends on Bitcoin, really. Everything is dependent on Bitcoin right now. So I also want to talk about this, where this guy talks about Diff AI. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he's saying that they have no idea what Diff AI can do, and there's a bunch of stuff that it can do, right? Like think about ChatGPT, for example. When you ask ChatGPT to like help you code or something, you just say in natural language, I want you to edit this for loop or something so that it has this many indices throughout this matrix, and ChatGPT is like, yeah, I got you. And instead of you putting the actual manual effort to edit the code, you can just ask it in natural language. It's a lot easier to do for human. And DeFi, on the other hand, you have to do all these clicking buttons, and you got to make sure you do the right settings, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. It's a very manual process. But now imagine you have an AI that allows you to do it. So like let's say you have a bunch of shit in your wallet, and instead of you just having to go in manually and swap them into a token, you can just ask whatever the AI assistant is to your wallet and say, okay, I want you to convert all the money to this, and that would do it automatically for you. So an automated process. It does manual things at a very fast rate. So other thing as well, like trailing stops. So essentially, I want you to do some swaps for me in natural language, and also daily stuff where you could ask the AI assistant to do staking, swapping, depositing, liquidity pooling, all of this crazy stuff. You can just ask the AI to do this for you, and it's a very good thing because humans are like to be lazy, especially with these super manual things. And if there's an AI assisted version, then of course that's going to be highly used, and it's going to be a very good utility case, especially in crypto, where AI and crypto, most likely a very good utility case is for an AI assisted crypto agent instead of what could actually be used by retail people in the real world, because it doesn't really make sense on it from a natural perspective. But yeah, this is just a brief explanation of this technology that could be good just based off speculation. It depends on if they actually super deliver on it or not, but it's something to look out for essentially, and we'll have to see if it actually super develops. Anon seems to be one of the leaders in it, although the price action, I mean, it's holding up better than Virtuals, I guess, but we'll have to see if this is going to be the new tech or not, because if they are able to announce its adoption and are actually able to deliver, then this could easily be billions in my own opinion. But that's pretty much all I want to say in this video. And it seems that basically, in summary, we either go up or we go down based off what I said in the price action of the majors. And I think that at some point we will be going up in the next few weeks and price will be higher. And that could be setups for alts because they've been down for so long. And if we look at the others chart as well, we're finally starting to bounce from the trend line, even though it's been broken. But we'll have to see what happens. But honestly, there's just more probability of those multi-week rallies at this point instead of Bitcoin going lower and retesting the 80s again. So we'll have to see what happens. Could be that this was the final area and then now we're ready for higher. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say in this video, and I'll see you guys.